All right. A little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the carve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool. Just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hugs they fly. My spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start. I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimao party is the place we flee for the friends we see in these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Welcome back to the beach, folks. Here in Sardinia, Italy, it's the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2023, and it is getting hot in here. So find yourself a nice parasol for some shade. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the semi-final matchup. It's an all North American affair. USA versus USA. Spangled versus Rundown. Two teams that didn't meet last season, but of course both ended up in the top of the standings. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, alongside Stefan Rapazzo. And how stoked are you for this match, Steph?
This is one for the ages. We're ready and more than willing to bring you the action here. Last year's champs taking on Rundown, who have just been getting better and better as they go, culminating with that quarter-final come-from-behind victory yesterday over Hurt. This one is going to be a banger. And it's all happening right now, Hanny.
It really is. Well, Spangled had a bit more of a cruise through against last year's finalists. Young Legends, they took that game 12-5. So looking pretty good are the renamed. Of course, you would know them last season as Team America, but both of these teams have had a rebranding exercise because Rundown, formerly Man Down, changing the name to be a bit more inclusive of this loose mixed division. Naunan starting us off with a nice easy flick to Jamie Cashin. Pops back to Grant Cashin. Oh, sorry, Tina McDowell, the number 13. I forget. Jamie Cashin, of course, wearing that number 16. I'm getting dazzled by the sun behind.
It is dazzling.
Well, after a brief stoppage, that one pops over the head of the defender. Great flail from Lars Falstad, but doesn't connect with the disc. And Naunan, with eyes on the prize, keeps the first hold on the board for Rundown.
Yeah, Naunan's been good all weekend, or all the last 4 days. It's only just the weekend now. Feels like it, though, the way tournaments go, and uses his body there. Great box out. I think the defender, Lars, went up earlier, but still couldn't find his way around Naunan. Both up and down before the goal counted.
Well, Naunan, a real key piece of this game. On offense for Rundown. It's all over the field. 58 years old. He was looking for a way to stay in shape when he was in med school back in the day, a physician by trade. Sons Corey and Aidan back at home, and his wife Leanne played for Fury. And of course, so many of the athletes on these pitches here in Sardinia are coaches as well. So hello to any of you youth athletes watching how the more seasoned veterans of the sport do it. So our first look at Spangled on offense. Jolly on the far sideline with the iconic moustache, but that's going to be a bobble recatch. Was he inbounds via the tape on the far side? Brett Mitchell holds on. And Rocky Beach of Ultimate Impact hops through. A compressed field at the moment for Spangled. Mitchell trying to eke out some yards up line. Rising for Jolly. He's going to just punt it towards the deep space. Mitchell underneath, and he opens up the hip flexors and gains the yards required for the offensive hold. But that looked a little bit uncomfortable for Spangled.
Yeah, they got stuck in their own end there for just a second. A couple throws with some high stall counts. But they did, you know, as soon as they got that one off there, I think it was in Rocky Beach's hands for just a moment. And once it got moving again, then they got going all right. It did look comfortable enough once that first throw was out. They pushed it over the sideline. Great throw by Jolly. Mitchell behind the pace a bit at first. I wasn't sure. He showed his speed, why he's on this team. Caught up nice and easy and was less than in stride by the time he got there. Could actually afford to slow down and pick up that goal.
Well, Mitchell is somebody who will be very familiar with the style that Rundown like to play, because he actually was part of the US Speech National Championship team that won this season back home in the States. So
they got a mole.
They do. It's a big pull from Spangled. Keeping these pulls in bounds is very important, because with a shorter field, those bricks really do hurt. But sat in Callahan County at the moment, popping one through, hitting Jana Kritzinger. Cashin's looking for that reset around, little squirrel around the back of the Frondeville. Of course, he had his commentary debut, but that one's going to escape now, and foul being called.
And hands on the head there in absolute disbelief is Mike Knapp. I think the contact was very evident. I think Knapp may have a point to put the hands on the head, because the throw may well have been too high regardless of the heels clacking.
Well, shooting against the breeze, we have seen in the first game of this finals day at this championship, with a couple of them sitting in the breeze and hanging. And we know that Naunan has the ability to make massive layout bids when he needs to. Squeaks to the break side. Cashin's there. There you go. That indicates exactly which way the breeze is hanging, as Cashin puts one out on a peg.
Couple calls now in this point.
We did see a couple of cool, heavy games so far in this championship, most notably that quarter-final with Rundown against Hurt. But of course, spirit's still pretty high. Lots of these players have known each other for something going on 30 years.
Let's try it again.
It's a replay. Again, Cash into Naunan. Going every which way on the pronunciation of that dude's surname. Oh, it's going to be nearly the layout required, but Appleyard just turns on the Jets. Middlebrook now, boots. Known as such because he turned out in construction boots, and off the near hand block. Naunan redeeming. Appleyard seeking options. Not too much action around the reset space. Squeaks it through to Middlebrook. Boots shoots and scores. Oh, there's heavy pressure on that one. Well, we said the last point for Spangled didn't look comfortable. That one also looked like they were sitting on a bed of nails, but Jana Kritzinger nails that one to the front cone and pops in another hold here.
Yeah, bed of nails indeed, like that adage there, Hanny, but that was forced and forced again. The throw from Middlebrook that did get away, that had a whole, well, a half a hand block on it before. Going back to this replay, that throw from Appleyard, no, the throw that Appleyard received was a humdinger. There's the finish, but defense very, very tight all over every throw, every mark on that last possession. If that's any indication of how this game's going to go, these offensive possessions are going to need to be as near perfect as possible, because any deviation from perfection and the defenses are going to snaffle them away.
And there was a great swagger after that goal as well from Jana Krutzinger, a real talismanic player, coach to her local middle school program, and recovered from a rather nasty injury to get herself here. So someone with a lot of mettle to be tested in this semi-final here on the sands at this great Grandmaster division. So trotting, the disc under his arm. Plenty of energy in the legs of Spangled's Herb Culp. Dishes that dad backhand to Jolly, who's flipped his cap backwards so better to see upfield. A little bit of a collision as Culp leaves Colin Smith to be clipped by the sand monster. Just grabbed the ankle. Of course, there are a few more stumbles on beach than otherwise. Nothing to do with the age of these athletes, because you see it in the seniors division too. Back in play with Jolly. Shoots up line. Oh, there's big pressure on that. Great effort from Peter Nia, but a height mismatch there.
Yeah, excellent pressure. The throw was just off as well, despite the pressure, but given right back, Annie.
Arlie Stern getting up in the mixer and redeeming the disc for Spangled. A small but mighty athlete, and Rocky Beach opens that one up, but the last minute play from Fraser. Oh no, that's not Fraser. It looked like a 9 on my back. That was Russell Furr stroking the disc away.
What a series of events, back and forth. I thought that one was a goal. Peter Nia had position, but Russell Furr would not give up on that disc and got it back for Rundown to have another chance.
Well, that is Travis Fraser, the number 19, with the disc now, matching up with Peter Nia of Lightspeed, of course, the sponsor of this team, but a high stall and a difficult force to best. Ends up with the disc going straight into the sand. A foul immediately called by Rocky Beach. McDowell just getting a little bit too touchy there. And a bit of double teaming action for your money. Lots of communication from both teams from the sidelines, doing their best to add that extra bit of information and knowledge. Stern needs to make some moves, go for the upline, but Jolly is coming in from the deep space. Oh, a low throw. Both teams trying to get that inside flick, low break. But in these breezy conditions, it's a difficult one to execute. Fraser now has McDowell streaking towards the deep space. It's a good gainer, and there'll be a good reception for the second option, but not taken. Chooses to be conservative. Furr, though, exploits the stumble from Beach. Did he manage to toe the tape?
Doesn't look like he's in. Disc still in hand, no celebration. Now they're back.
Furr looking to dish one in. Oh, and does. There's the layout from Nia, but Travis Fraser is going to get the first break score in this game. Rundown knows himself in front.
That was a big point with the amount of turnovers we saw there. Again, these ones tend to count for more when you leave those whole. The 10 out there will now be puffed, and using them immediately again, less of an option. When they're back out, that point's going to take its toll, and to get that point and having it as a break is a huge momentum boost for Rundown. You see the score separation now, 2 points up, 3-1 with the break in pocket and the advantage of the flip. Rundown looking strong in the opening sequences here.
Well, Rundown have the pedigree, of course, taking that USAU championship. Not with this exact squad. We already talked about some of the athletes that have been pulled across, tempted to go play for Spangled. I think that really has made an impression on me is the height of that defensive line for Rundown. The likes of Fraser and Furr really putting some work in. Big shout out to Travis Fraser, the ophthalmologist. There's also a lot of doctors on this Rundown team, so maybe that's a little secret. If you bring your own medical staff, it helps keeping you in fine fettle in these big old championship bracket games. And a nutmegged pull nearly dropped after the roll.
It was a very nice pull. Great work by Powers to collect.
Absolutely. DeZono throws under hot coverage, but well kept. And that is a beautiful leading throw, but it's going to lead all the way back out of the end zone. Cy Prothro can only sigh in dismay and watch that sail over his head.
Kevin Kale putting a bit too much on that one. Did look like a nice option. Had Prothro, but wasn't perfect there. And Spangled are gonna need to fine-tune the O first, and then see if they can find a way to get back in and putting their D on the field.
Well,
right now in a bit of hot water.
Maybe it's that quarter-final. They did really easily cruise over Young Legends, who had already uncorked the beers after their way into the bracket, the game that won our live stream that put them in quarterfinals against their former opponents for the gold medal last year.
I've always preached the tougher battles get you better, more prepared for the big matches, so Rundown got that.
Well, metal sharpens metal. Cash in on the underneath. McDowell trying to scoop herself away from DeZono. Oh, what a throw that was, you saucy man, Peter Wells. Beautiful stuff. Cash in available is taken. Solid lateral moving. The sideline for Rundown trying to get their resets to just be exposing that isolation. McDowell now. Back to Wells. Cash in underneath, but looks for that break side and it sails away. There's the bid from McDowell, but that's a squandered opportunity for a potential three-point run here.
Yeah, Wells had such a great throw not long ago in that sequence, and that one just inches away, but this game of inches, that makes a difference.
Kale threatens that inside. DeZono now. Lovely inside flick. Prothro. Gonna need some kind of reset fairly soon. No, just lasers it into the end zone and just about from the knees. Great catch.
Ledonne with that goal. Big throw by Prothro. Was only ever looking upfield. And in the end, I thought it might have cost him a possession. It was not looking to Powers in the swing space there. Eyes upfield and does come up with the goods. High stall count. And here's another look as he goes to Ledonne for the goal. Becky Ledonne, the Italian heritage American.
Indeed.
Coming out of Madison.
And also is a nominee for the Hall of Fame. She had to put together the entire Frisbee CV. It's a long old process, but well deserved. And actually has been in a commentary booth herself. Had the pleasure during the Eurostars tour, which she reminded me of.
Well, we bumped into them in Old Town Villasimas.
Indeed, we gave them some.
Finishing up dinner. We were starting gelato, and they followed our lead. We led them to the goods for as far as gelato was concerned, and they were happy for it.
It's a lesser-known fact, to be fair. If you're looking for a gelato spot, a good first point of call. Yes, you can look and ask the internet. Our good friends Google, search engines do exist. But Stefan Rapazzo, former gelateria employee himself, he knows a thing or two about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you better believe it. Made some of the best gelato in the world, and go find yourself the Pozzettis. That's your first start. What that is, well, go to Google for that, or come ask me and I'll tell you more.
Or go to his social media handle. Maybe we'll do a guide to gelato. Middlebrook looking to guide this disc to the next point. Going against Stone's force and throws into the waiting defender. Two offensive players there, but it's eyes on the prize for Spangled.
Hammond takes that one away.
Stone with that lovely purple sparkly headband in the sun. Nap into Stone, but oh, he looks away, doesn't watch the disc into his hands and gives the disc straight back, but a turnover. Cashin getting a little bit too hasty, missing the mark for Naunan. Lots of space being given for Spangled on this break side. You can see there Matt Stone watching the disc all the way into his hands differently then.
A quick replay after the travel called Stoney just say, give it back, let's go.
Yeah, don't get in your head. Don't worry about the calls. Just respect them. Be well spirited. Oh, but there could be a rundown and a smackdown indeed. What a play. That's got to be Cao Wang. Oh, swanging the disc out of bounds.
I thought that looked good, I'll be very honest. And that play was a huge one by Wang. Coming across, taking that away. Cao Wang, holy cow. Well, that was good.
Founding member started rundown, or as it was then known, man down back in 2020. Says his heroes are every one of his teammates. But yeah, he's got a little bit of a slighter frame as Wang, and so easily, I think, saw that Hammond was maybe a little bit flat-footed chasing that down, but it's going to be a hard ask. Oh, nearly the Callahan there, but Naunan just escapes on hot pressure being applied. I'll tell you what, Spangled have definitely scouted the way that Rundown like to play offense. They know who the big targets are to shut down. That one's going to escape, though. He tries to go for the Mac greatest. There's cash in, but not to be. De Frondeville. That flame decal cap. Punches into the center. Wang is there. And Hammond, well-spirited. Yep, that was not caught. Leaves a disc in the sand.
Cao Wang taking this game into his own hands right now. This point anyways.
Well, a little bit predictability there. Cash in just thinking that automatically Naunan has been so free in their earlier matches, but against Spangled, you can't get away with that kind of action. DeZono takes the knees, and they dish. Hops around. De Frondeville waiting for his opportunity, has Stone. Easy swinging pro throw now. Oh, sorry, nap even, but that one is going to go a little bit too far over the reaching form of Jody DeZono. Hey. High release. Cashin. The tension is starting to rise. Players being called back behind the 3-meter line. Middlebrook. This is turning into a lengthy old point. Fakes the hammer. Rundown choosing really tight spacing, and a timeout being called by Grant Cashin. Doesn't like the look of the downfield, decides he wants to give his teammates a little bit of a break here. They try and stop to not get broken by Spangled.
Let's take a break too. I agree with this one. 10 turnovers on this point already.
Ouch. Well, we'll see how this point will conclude, because it's going to be a momentum gainer after these short messages.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finny, he's done it.
For the first time ever, from the golden sandy blankets of Portimao, Portugal, ULA and UltiTV bring you the World Beach Ultimate Club Championship 2024. The best club teams in the world will converge on the Portuguese Algarve. With expectations for upwards of 150 teams, this promises to be a tournament worth bucket listing. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
Back in play here, a 10 turnover point here. Spangled currently trying to get themselves a break back to put us on serve. Rundown with the natural advantage, winning the flip to start the semi-finals here at the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championship. So Cashin has Nounen up line. Nice grab with that left hand.
Nounen.
Now. How now? Cal Wang puts it in front of Grant Cashin. Not quite over the tape, but that is really nice flow. And they have Krutzinger in the end zone, back corner, and that is a big momentum taker. Rundown, hold on in the first half here.
How's that for a well-used timeout after all that flustering around, turnovers back and forth, the impatience in the offensive possessions shown with consistency throughout that point. Timeout taken, and again, I don't often love an in-game timeout, but with the amount of folly that was going on in that point, that one was wise, and it did pay off indeed. They came back the other way, worked it up the line. I thought Cashin was in initially. He wasn't, still held his medal and got the goal for Rundown. Well, got the assist.
Well, maybe some kind of blown coverage in the end zone there. Krutzinger managing to rip free of the defensive matchup of DeZono. Also, apologies to Angela Lynn. Miscalled you earlier. But Daryl Nounen, it was very nearly a time over, or a turnout as we call them, because that was a huge save with that lefty grab from Daryl Nounen. I mean, he makes them look fairly predictable, but that first pass was difficult.
I'll tell you what, I've heard a new one for a timeout and failure. A burn and turn. Burn a timeout and turn over. Burn and turn. I quite like it.
Oh, yeah, that's got a ring to it. Stern with the low flat backhand that's going to hit the sand before it reaches the waiting arms of Brett Mitchell.
Oh, this could get sticky. Mitchell, great effort, but another turnover.
Yeah, it's not been the best day at the office for him. He'll put pressure on that one, but Stewart, the captain, and an offhand backhand into the pass of Russell Furr. Well, this other line for Rundown saying, you know what? That was a really long point, folks. Let's show you how we do it quickly here for our defensive offense. That was a turn and gun towards the end zone. Commiserations to Spangled, because that's going to hurt some.
Yeah, that is going to hurt. This separation now 5-2 for Rundown. 3-point lead. The lead bigger than the score tally for Rundown. It is looking sticky. Time ticking away here too. 25 minutes expired. That means just about 20 remaining, 19, even less than. And Spangled, I mean, at bare minimum here, come up with a hold. Finding a way back into this game. Stop thinking about that. Think about just shorten your mindset. Look less into the future. Find a way to be present, of course. Score this goal and try to regenerate some confidence, and then maybe think about turning that into momentum.
It's a great strategy, plus playing the games within the game. Don't think about the whole piece that you have to digest. Just those little snacks here and there. And shout out the development of this great Grandmasters division. 2 female athlete matching point here in semi-finals. Ladone up line to Stern, but the missed connection. There's chat elsewhere on the field, a foul away from the disc, which will send that back.
Is that between Mitchell and Hurd, was it? Looks like it.
So a chat here, Mitchell saying that he made the call way before the disc was thrown, so it is a stoppage on that foul, even though the throw had committed. It's still, the rules is rules, folks. Defensive fouls must be respected. So a little bit of a gimme. But Ladone just trying to figure out what stall we're coming back in on with Cashin. Looking for reset, squeaks one out to Jolly. The mustachioed man with the double calf, also single calf compression. Oh, that's a lovely little piece on a string for Beach. Oh, and a zesty shot. Ladone makes the play, puts the body on the line, but just narrowly misses the disc by about a half an inch.
Yeah, Rocky Beach getting a little excited. Nice inside vision, but the throw imperfect, too far. Ladone says, I'm going to show you I'll do everything within my power to try and get there. But that throw just a bit off by Rocky Beach.
Yeah, she's real good, but unfortunately, Becky Ladone cannot change the laws of physics. And we see another turnover off an inside low release forehand shot.
This not the game we were expecting thus far with the separation.
Well, the separation between the scoreline, but that separation downfield just about getting there. What a fantastic throw that was for Rundown's defense. Collected with ease by Stephen Labonge.
That is a rundown if I've ever seen one. Great throw by Russell Furr. Tape to tape, and I'm talking back tape. Just keeping it in. Lebon had the separation he needed. Didn't take his foot off the throttle, and Spangled in all sorts of trouble with this scoreline and the time against them.
Well, these slightly shorter rosters, there's so many teammates from the grass teams, Shadows and Relics all across the board, but that was a fantastic use of two athletes with huge frames. Stephen Labonge, 6'4" tall, and using every inch of it to reel in that goal. As they take a break on the pitch, we will too here in the booth. Do not go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in a few moments.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Back in second half now, opening us up here. Spangled will start on offense, so a chance to notch another on the board. The scoreline very different to what we expected in this match, but the intensity, the closeness, the physicality and grit in this game is delivering.
I must say I will not count Spangled out right now. They are, you know, they have these errors coming against them. The fight is there. They are the contests within every point are real battles, and everything just seems to be falling Rundown's way. They're working for it. Credit to them. Spangled got to find a way to just get things clicking, and then that sequence of events may continue for them. But where is that spark going to come from? They need a big play, something talismanic to get things back on track, and if not, it is going to be a quick road to victory for Rundown.
Well, Rundown trying to just run all the way away with this game, and there's a miscued throw again, pro throw this time. That was less than professional in the execution, and a great reaching layout grab, snatching the disc away goes Stewart. Cashin has a bit of separation, but some clustering in the middle space. Great effort. And a bit of choice language. Some frustration there from McDowell, but it didn't hopefully catch our field mark. And a disagreement, I think that's Kevin Cale.
Yeah, showing some exasperation there.
A little bit too much early movement. Lynn taking that McDowell matchup. McDowell, low to Kelly. He threw that. So Wells even. Don't know why I want to call him Peter Kelly. That's very strange. Stewart making all the big catches to keep the disc alive. And a stall 9 throw to McDowell, but there'll be a pick call presumably.
Yeah, looks like it must have been a pick. The separation McDowell had there from Lynn. The suspiciously open, even if it was open in a small space.
Stewart with a 9 stall push pass that time. Flobbles and wobbles, but Fraser had enough separation to make sure it was okay.
How did he get away with that?
I don't know. High release backhand, though, opens up the space. Another bit of creativity from the well of throws that the number 4 has. And Fraser's job made very easy on the break side. And that's a break to start us off for the second half. My, oh my. Well, Spangled a little bit too relaxed coming into this match, perhaps, Steph.
Yeah, not sure where the difference is, what has happened. Again, we talk about paths into these types of games. Sometimes the easy moonwalk in, sometimes the metal sharpening metal. No matter how you slice it, Rundown has got all the swagger right now. Everything is, they can't put a foot wrong, whereby Spangled cannot put a foot right. Opening throws off sequences, not hitting. Meanwhile, Rundown able to throw high release push passes through flailing hands and somehow coming off with it. Everything going their way right now, and that would indicate that this, it looks like it's all over. But these are the defending champs. I'm not sure I'm not sure I can say I think Spangled have it in them, but I still just can't logically count them completely out here.
It is a difficult statement to make. I feel a little bit more secure. Rundown really running away with this game. They coming off the back of a USAU Beach Nationals Championship win. And certainly, as we say, Spangled have pretty much handily tooled their way through this division so far. Their goal difference is plus 49. They've not dropped a game yet. And their closest was against Blue Zone, who pushed them just shy of the points cap. 11-8 the final score there. So I think it is that thing of those closer games, that hurt quarterfinal, really adding the extra strings to the bow for Rundown. But it's not over, folks. Herb Culp pops to Jolly. Mitchell looking a little bit tentative upfield. He's had the hands to try and grab some of these arrows. Oh, but that one's too far. Arlie Stern had Rocky Beach in acres of room, but that needed a little bit more bladey curvature to hit the mark.
Yeah, that one, another one again, as we've been saying, Herb Kaup there through that high release to Beach, had enough room to throw with as much grace as he liked and still put it behind.
But opens up a launcher backhand, sailing, nearly hitting our drone. There's a little bit of a stumble. McDowell, is he going to call? Is she going to call a foul?
She is calling something again with seeming frustration in her body language.
I think maybe a little bit of an ankle catch. No, no, actually, that looks whistle clean on the replay. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I would happily have one more look here. I think she tripped on the tape. I think that's exactly what happened. Dommage, but certainly no foul. And I think that's all that McDowell was expressing with her body language was how upset she was that she managed to trip over that tape. So a little bit of a blessing here for Spangled. Let's see what they can do with this opportunity.
Well, a real leader for this side. Tina and Grant played Open College at the University of Georgia way back when. One of the older connections, and Russell Fair nearly stealing the disc away from Rocky Beach, but that's good. Strides in the end zone. Oh, and look at that soft leading backhand for Jolly. And there we go, folks, another on the board for Spangled. Not a clean hold, but it works out well. And a highlight throw from Mitchell with that hockey assist, but DeZono grabs the disc and holds on close to the chest.
Yeah, great throw by Mitchell. The high release backhand, no look too. He really put everything on that. Boy, did they need that. They got to get their D-line on the field if they're going to find any sniff at getting back into this right now. Time ticking away, just under 7 minutes. And they got a lot of work to do. Let's see if this D-line can generate.
I really need to figure out which cap is which with Lynn and DeZono. Of course, that's Angela Lynn with the goal in the end. The Eugene, Oregon-based engineer started back in 1996. And so the call from the sideline, one at a time, White. Of course, telling Spangled to just play the games within the game. They trail by 4 breaks, and they're running out of time here, just under 6 minutes remaining. And a drop from Nounan, a gift for Spangled's D-line. Hammond pops back to Frondeville. Oh, and on that front corner, easy picking, Sam Salvia started playing at the grad school back in the UK, formerly of Fury, though. Plenty of championship experience.
That certainly helps. This actually, that just gave me this feeling of what happened to Hurt yesterday in the late stages. A couple turnovers right in the end zone, a near Callahan, a drop towards the line, easy possessions, gave Rundown yesterday the easy answers, this easy returned momentum, and this is only once, but that is, 2 in a row, first time that we've seen 2 in a row all game long for Spangled. Is this the puff of breath they've needed to expand the lungs to full capacity?
Well, it'll help. A little injection of oxygen, but not quite nitrous oxide, I think, into Spangled. But this same line coming out now on defense. And that one, nearly gets caught by the wind, getting involved on defense, and a miscommunication. Cashin had acres of space, but Krutzinger puts it a little bit short, and the wind takes it away from Lars Felstedt in a matter of microseconds. Stewart just calling a brief stoppage to clear some debris off the pitch here. Push pass upfield, Salvia making the call that might bring us back.
A unfortunate drop there by Lars Felstedt. They got themselves a gift again on the underthrow, the wide open Cashin, and the ensuing throw off the hands a little bit in front, but that one probably should have been caught. Now Rundown with a second chance to hold.
Stewart with the wind really gusting up and rising. Middlebrook now swirling side wind, making those forehands a little bit extra tricky. Also those passes into the breeze. But now executing nice low backhands. You can see that one rises a little bit from Cashin, just to indicate how challenging these conditions are in this moment. Middlebrook, lots of wobble, and there we go. There's the breeze block on the throw. Hammond looking to make it all an expansive affair, but that's going to sail out of bounds. Surely no one there for Stone to try and throw the greatest to, even if he thought to do it. And just under 3 minutes remaining. Another long, drawn-out point, low-scoring game for these two decorated teams. Stewart making moves upfield. Opens up that gap for Middlebrook to work with. Those around breaks are really being challenged. Krutzinger pops through to Cashin. Stewart just trotting around, not making too many moves, but that is an amazing throw from Grant Cashin, and it's collected for the 8th point of this game. Rundown double up the scoreline over Spangled with just over 2 minutes remaining, and you can see how much grit and determination that required from Joey Stewart. He takes a well-deserved rest in the sand.
Wow, Grant Cashin. That is one heck of a throw in these conditions, in any conditions. But with this gusty wind, that was only ever out of bounds till about 3 meters before it was in the hands of Stewart. That throw showing great shape and more so great poise out of Grant Cashin, being able to deliver that in such a big moment. That's the separation they need. Spangled had opportunities once again on that position. So close, but now so far away.
Wow.
1 minute 20 remaining. High likelihood the hooter will sound amidst this next point.
Well, Philip Joey Stewart, of course known as Coach or Professor Stewart to his students back home, able to come to this championship thanks to the work of Les Schlesinger, his his substitute teacher, who keeps him able to come to these championships that happen in term time. But Spangled with some must-hold situations. Lynn pops one forward to Jolly, nice and easy and smooth, but that's not going to be smooth or easy for Brett Mitchell. He has a go, but it tips off of his fingers.
Oh, Mitchell did everything he possibly could to put the Jets on there, and just in the dying moment, the hand would not stick for him. Another just an almost there by Spangled that's giving Rundown one more opportunity.
Well, the Danville 50-year-old, I think he's a real big impact player for Spangled's O-line. When he's having a great day at the office, they really do have an easier time of it, but not his game today. But big shout out to his boys at home, Tomu and Getty. Wells digs deep and throws it to McDowell. Cashin isolated upfield, but soon joined by Mark Pletcher. Oh, that's a laser flick low. The connection is there though, and McDowell just about holds on to it. It's another break of score for Rundown, and they have buried Spangled in the sand at this stage.
Yeah, this is a game that has been run away with. Again, the lead differential more than what Spangled have put on the board. 9-4. Where this is just almost mind-boggling. The time went after that point, so we'll play one more and then +1 to the high score there. McDowell cashes in that goal. First to her tally to add to an assist, and Mark Pletcher with his first assist in the game. A all Rundown affair here. Everything is going their way.
Oh, some challenging wind conditions, late stages of this semi-final match here. Well, Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships. We've had some pretty big gaps between scorelines in the earlier stages, but I think it's that classic spirit speech fodder at the end of this one, where the scoreline really doesn't seem to reflect the intensity and the level of play being shown here. I think it's just Spangled coming unstuck a couple of times. Someone's going to need to get the pull. That's going to be Russell Furt. Some recalibration. We get Dazzle on the field. Of course, we had a little joke in the previous round as that's the name of one of the teams here. Caused a little bit of confusion. Some of the Rundown players thought, wait, has one of our leaders left us to go and play and form another rival team?
Not the case. Dazzle still dazzling in the rundown.
With
Guernsey.
the hair tinsel. That number 69 matching up against Dizono. And a big shout out, speaking of the dazzling sort of accessories on, Spangled have a bunch of the old school temporary golden tattoos here on the Golden Sands. Dorne trying to open up yards underneath, successfully does with a shoulder shimmy. Pops back to de Frondeville. High release with the wind now back firmly cross pitch near to far. That one's going to get a lot of loft under it though, and it's an easy pickings for Clayton Hurd. Getting a little bit unglued as Rocky Beach. Didn't manage to pin that throw in, so Fur, that big old frame against Beach. Interesting choice of matchup for this defensive line from Rundown. Can they punch it in? Hurd puts one out on a piece of string for Dazzle, and she runs it down. My, oh my. Wow. We're going to get one of Stefan Rapazzo's favourite anachronisms.
What a way to make a living here. Oh no, 10-4 there, good buddy. Going the other way. On the radio call, taxi to taxi here. This is a game to 11 now. Chance to break for game, and otherwise Spangled would have to pull off the unthinkable, a hold and 6 breaks to win this game. Anything short, and Rundown will be featuring in the grand final.
Well, Dazzle there grabbing the disc, of course. Darcy Ellsworth Yao. Shout out to husband Lou, who she met through the Ultimate community, and also her daughters Lily and June. June herself carrying the torch to the next generation, plays for the University of Oregon Women's Ultimate Team. And of course, one of the founding board members of the Bay Area Disc Association back in 2008.
Love seeing our chat board finally light up. I know it's early morning, super early in the U.S., but one legend giving love to another. Nas Mbe Vogel saying Grant Cashin is the best in the chats. That's what we're getting here.
I mean, he is. He's not wrong. Nasser is a very smart athlete and picking a great person there. Of course, Cashin coming into our booth, making his commentary debut. We'll have to get him back again, I'm sure.
So Spangled with a mountain to climb.
I love the energy, though, of fielding the pulls from Herb Kulp. So Kulp resetting low to Kale, but uses that big frame to collect it. Mitchell with on the bread box. Very tight marking. A little bit of infraction action from Labonge. Kale threatens that inside, goes all the way around the head with the fakes. Smooth moves over to Salvia. I think this is a bit of Spangled's D-line coming out to play offense. A couple of pulls across anyway. Mitchell. Oh, a little bit of creativity, swagger on that offhand high release. Just exploiting the big old frame of Kale. And a flop and throw. Spangled bringing out all the creative options just to keep things moving. Mitchell, still count starting to rise. Pops one up on a piece of string for Culp. Nearly gets there, but just shy. Clustered players around. This is not particularly pretty spacing, but sneaking through, trying to hit DeZono, but hits nothing but the Golden Sands here.
And again, a decent looking possession there, but in the end tried to rush. We do have a foul though, so I'll stay tight-lipped for just a moment here. It goes back into the hands of Herb Kaup.
Yeah, Colin Smith maybe got a little bit too feisty. There's a lot of bodies in a very small piece of pitch over there. Spangled definitely have the throws to be a little bit more disciplined with spacing. But exploiting the face mark, snag from Mitchell. Well defended though. The break stopped, but the inside lefty backhand DeZono again the favoured target for Spangled. But another call.
This time I think they're discussing up, down, and from the sideline, they get a little bit of help. It is agreed. That is up. That is, here's another look.
Yeah, that is a very clear one from the replay, so a fair call on the field. DeZono makes the clutch catch to keep this game alive. One more point. But 10-5, they're going to have to make the defensive stand, possibly of their careers. And there have been some probably defensive stands in there. But my, wouldn't that be a game?
6 in a row is the requirement. But as any of these players know, bite-sized pieces is the only way to get 6 in a row. There's only one way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So the task ahead, monumental. Rundown, all but feeling their way into the final at this stage. They've got to be exuberantly confident at this stage with the lead they've got. And 1 point remaining, a pull to receive, everything in their favor at this stage. But it ain't over till it's over, despite the tilted field.
Well, we've got a stacked out D-line coming out for Spangled, but that's not the way to start it off. An out-of-bounds pull is going to give the brick. Oh, no, not even the brick. It never came back in, so they're going to take it from where it went out. I think this is just a misfortunate moment of many in this game for Spangled. You can see what they were trying to do, but the breeze has changed. It's no longer that crosswind. Probably about 2 minutes ago, that would have been a perfect executed pull. But just not really the focused attention that I think Rundown have been putting into this game, a little bit more honed than Spangled. But Naunen is now the time for a one-pass score. Trying to threaten that break. Kritzinger's going to head up line. Cash in just about with the footwork. Has Colin Smith to Kritzinger. Smith going up that line. Looking for the cheeky ones, Naunen. Oh, an offhand backhand, and that will close us off. Jim Middlebrook bootsing his way into finals here with Rundown running away with this game. My goodness, even in the second half, getting a further 2 additional breaks above Spangled. Now that was a statement game, Steph.
Yeah, they did it to themselves, did they there? The Spangled attack just couldn't generate anything throughout that game. The work you saw in the first 2-3 points, how hotly contested this was, but as soon as things started falling against Spangled, the collective momentum against, you could see it. You could see heads dropping, and the luck continued to fall against them. So it will be Rundown going to feature in the grand final. A huge match for them, a one-sided affair, 11-5 beyond anyone's expectations. This was, again, just something no one expected. Up next, we got that second semifinal. The semifinal that still has some international feel to it. No 2-0, the Houston team from USA, but they will be taking on the Rainbow Warriors from Finland. My bad, from Sweden, indeed, not from Finland. And that one, let's get our hopes up for a battle that ends up having a tighter scoreboard. All said, that was a exceptionally tight match from point to point, contest to contest. If you isolated each one of these matchups, but everything was falling in favor of Rundown. Hannah has returned. She's found me Philip Stewart, Joey, for a chat after the game. Joey, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm a little hoarse. I was screaming a lot.
Yeah, yes, you were. We definitely saw you.
Sorry about that.
Respect that 3-meter line. Of course, we'll keep you behind it. But all said, not the match that we were expecting as far as a score line went. You guys came in obviously very confident. Is that what you guys were after? Tell us about your thoughts on getting a 6-point victory in this match.
It was really a throw-by-throw, point-by-point situation. We weren't looking at, we're going to beat these guys or we're going to lose to these guys. It was just focusing on each moment. I know that we know those guys so well. We play with them. One of their best players is someone I play with, probably 2 hours a week, every single week. We live in the same town. We have tons of respect for them. We play with them. We got lucky.
Yeah.
And we were able to pull it together in the moments consistently a little more this time.
You got to be good to be lucky, most certainly. And it seemed like you guys couldn't put a foot wrong once you got on a roll. Everything fell in your favor. Credit that to all the hard work. Credit that to the team vibe, the mentality, whatever it was all working for you. Talk about some of your teammates there. Talk about a couple of the efforts made by your team. Who kind of stood out, or was that really just a whole team effort by Rundown today?
Yeah, and that's a great question. It was a whole team effort, and this is going to be an answer you probably don't expect, but I'm thinking about some of the people who actually didn't play that much. Those people lifted us up. They're the heart and soul of our team, like together. We were that. So, this is someone like Dazzle. Maybe you noticed when she scored a point there, just the emotion there. People like Caro, who I don't think she got a point out there, but she's behind us. We're together. We're on the same page, and there's a bit of a feeling of love there, and it's hard to come to at any given moment. And I just want to shout out, and it happened out there on the pitch right now. But it's this whole tournament. I feel that we're a little older in years, and I say this in the Spirit Circle a lot, but we're all working our asses off. It's incredible to have however many 100 people are out here. We train all year for this, and to be competing like this internationally in a beautiful place and to do it at a high level, it's incredible. We can all go out and play pickup and screw around, but to do this, it's just really special. So there's not a person, it's just everyone on our team at that moment bought in.
Okay, listen, I would love to talk to you all day. I am going to have to cut it short because we got the next game starting very quickly. Tomorrow you guys got the big final.
I think it's today.
Sorry, it's not. Yeah. It absolutely is
today.
Home tomorrow. You guys excited about this one? You going to get the win?
We're going to do our best.
Nice riding the fence there.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Betty Lee, Gretchen, Grace.
Some love back home. We got to get Joey out of here because we got that next semifinal coming up. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good luck for the final. We'll see you very soon back out on that pitch.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV. Cause pressure's gonna